Beautiful people, welcome back to another episode of Conversations Unleashed. Check this out as I slide my microphone closer to me as you get this video experience on YouTube. We got something new today, baby. Yes, we do. We have our very first call in to the Conversations Unleashed podcast. This is exciting. This is something that I'm really elated about doing, and we're going to play this on today. We're going to see what happens and what goes down. This is your 10-minute weekly power up, and I'm releasing this special episode because I told this individual I was going to release it today on this beautiful Friday, October the 4th. So let's get into it. The video component will come out tomorrow, but let's go ahead and dive into this episode and let's hear this incredible person and what they had to ask me today. Let's go.
Hi, Mr. Bonner. My name is Imir. I am a first-year English teacher from West Philadelphia, and I'm your biggest fan. I teach at an all-boys school, and I'm living my dream by being a teacher.
That makes me feel good, first off. That just makes me feel good, first off, that they said they're living their dream and they always wanted to be a teacher. I respect you so much, Imir, because I did not want to be an educator at first, so I applaud you and thank you for your compliments as well. Let's keep listening.
It's always been my dream to be a teacher, but today was probably the most difficult day that I've ever had all year, and a day that I've questioned more time than any other time if education was for me. And it's really disappointing that I'm questioning that because my entire life I've literally dreamt of being a teacher. And now that I'm doing it, the fact that I'm even considering that this might not be for me is a little bit devastating. Your podcast today is all over the place. Probably couldn't have come at a better time, and I thank God, I thank the Lord that it came today, because today was really trying me.
And I want to say, everyone, to our Rising Together community, Conversations Unleashed, right? I need to make some merch that says Rising Together, but y'all, I thank you for your feedback on the podcast. I try my best to release them when I can because my schedule is crazy, but I'm glad that it's helping some of you because that's just the goal. We're doing this together. Let's keep going, though. I want to hear more about his first year experience because I think he's about to get to the point which should be good.
I just want to ask you, what did you do your first year of teacher? First of all, did you have these thoughts? Are these valid thoughts that I'm having? How much stock should I put into these thoughts of leaving and thinking of something else, thinking of doing something else? Even as I talk to you right now and make this voice memo, my mind is all over the place. All over the place is definitely the quote of the week. Things are all over the place. How do I get past these these tough moments, And I appreciate you being real in your podcast today, saying that not everything is going to be glamorous, not everything is going to be great, and there's going to be moments where it does feel like you're lifting 50 million pounds by your bare hands. But my frustration is when is it going to stop? I feel like that's all I've been doing. And I, there are some bursts of days where my class is on fire and I'm on fire and things are going well. But I just really feel like the enemy is really trying to fight against me in this, which, which is making me want to stay because I'm not going to let the enemy win. And that's just the Christian spiritual side of me speaking. But man, I hope you hear my mind and my heart in this. What am I supposed to do? What do I do, man? This is really, really hard. I want to stay in education and I want to finish my first year and I want to, be in this for 10, 20, 30 years. But man, what do I do?
All right. So, Mr. Imir, first off, man, we all are proud of you for coming into the field of education. I can't express my gratitude enough for you to even lend me your ear, to even support me the way that you do. So let's get into your questions on today because you had some really good stuff that you was talking about, and I want to make sure we get into it. You asked me, do I ever have the feelings of, do I want to give up? Am I annoyed with my students or am I annoying them? Am I exhausted? And how was I doing my first year? The answer to all of that, yes. Yes, God. There's been times in my first year that I wanted to give up. Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. Yes, it is something about the field of education because you have to neurologically connect the synapses within a child's mind to connect with the content and standards to get them to learn to read. Regardless of the trauma and the messes going on outside, it is one of the most difficult jobs in the world, and it is underpaid, which is probably why you're feeling the stress you're feeling. Young man, you are not alone. You are not alone. Okay, you are not I don't want you to feel isolated, because that's one thing that the mind likes to do. And you can say the mind if you are not a religious person, and you can say what the enemy tries to do if you are a spiritual person. Isolation is a very dangerous thing. And what happens is those feelings make us feel like we're alone. You're not alone. Amir, you are not alone. And what I want to do on today is to let you know that, hey, I do have those moments. In fact, I'll give you a story that not only you will enjoy, Amir, but everyone here that's listening to this podcast will. Let's flash back to March 2022. It was a very difficult time for me. It was actually the time I started therapy, because of the compounded trauma and decisions I've made in my past, etc., were catching up to me. And in education, I was struggling. It wasn't a struggle like I was a horrific teacher, because people were still coming to my class and enjoying the experience. Kids still loved my class that I was teaching that year, but there was so much going on from the pressure of business, the pressure of administration, that I remember I was over it. I was just over it. And this is post Ellen. This is with verified followers. This is with an established business. This is with the partnerships. This is with working at the Ron Clark Academy. I was truly annoyed. But I want to let you know something. I have learned in my life, in these 34 years of me living, that oftentimes the amount of storm, or the pressure, or the volatility of the storm, is a direct indication of the blessing that's coming. I'll say that again. The volatility of the storm oftentimes is a direct reflection of the size and the magnitude of the blessing that's on your way. And now that I have understood that when things are out of control, I have learned to throw my anchor down, and whatever your anchor is going into, that's up to you. But I put my anchor in God. I buckle down to the gifts he's given me, and I lock in. And I have this mindset that either you are going to move or I'm going to run you over. Period. So did I have those moments? Yes, I did, sir. But what can you do right now? You say, how do you get past these tough moments? Well, let me help you out. All right. I have a couple things for you, and to anyone inside of corporate or inside of education or entrepreneur, whatever. Right. Here we talk about lifestyle, business, and education. Let me help you out. One thing that you can do to get past those tough moments is, remember how I said in the previous point that I dropped my anchor down? What I'm doing is, your anchor is your why, right? Your anchor is your why. I remember that I did not plan on being an educator. So for me to have the success I've had in education is a clear indicator that I'm here for a reason. And if you've had a burning passion inside of your heart, Amir, that you wanted to always be an educator, well, young man, that passion was there for a reason. So what you have to do is begin to fortify your why. You have to make your why so deep that whatever storm comes, you'll be fine. Okay? I tell people all the time, if you study skyscrapers have, if you look at them in Miami, their foundation is just as deep as their height. Right? So when those hurricanes come, they're not easily knocked over. That has to be the same for your why. Make sure you get that. Number 2, you need a team. You need a team. And I'm not talking about a public team. It can be your coworkers. It can be family members. I have a very intimate inner circle that I can call, that I let them know everything. And they pick me up when I'm down. They help me rise up so I can help y'all rise up that's listening to this podcast. There are moments, you all, I will tell you this right now, where the world is getting on my absolute nerves, where people are getting on my absolute nerves, leaders, business, politics, social media, cultural, societal norms. It is moments when it's stressing me out and I need those outlets, right? And I have a safe space in the select few of people that I can go to, that social media and the corporate speeches and public speeches will not see. Every person needs that safe space. You need a team for a safe space. I mean, I don't know how you want to decide it or define that, but it's completely up to you. And the next one is, you said, will it get easier? And I want to be honest with you on today and transparent. It does not get easier. You have to handle the hard better. Education and any great thing that you're doing does not get easier. You have to handle the hard better. So I'm going to tell you what I told myself last night as I was laying down and woke up to a couple text messages and frustrated by things going on in the world. You have to choose your hard. Someone once said being broke is hard. And God knows I know. I know what it's like to be on food stamps. I know what it's like to have one air conditioning unit, not an HVAC system in your house. And I also know how it is to pay the electricity bill when all the HVAC system and things are running and the heat is running. Someone once said being out of shape is hard because it's tough for you to be mobile. Someone also said that being in shape is hard because you have to have the consistency to maintain that discipline. Amir, you have to choose your hard on today. And being great is hard. Social media makes you think it looks easy. If you look at my classroom right now on YouTube for people that are watching, it's glowing in the dark. Incredible, right? What you don't see is the amount of teachers that are in this room every Thursday and Friday that I have to teach in front of, and we have to make sure their grades are on point, and we have 55 new fourth graders, along with the system of the Ron Clark Academy, along with making sure that the speeches are on point, making sure my family's good in North Carolina. People don't see that. Young king that I'm talking to, and to anyone else that's listening, you have to choose your heart. I'm talking to myself right now too. And the higher you choose and aim to go, the harder it's going to get. Let's make it a very logical and simple analogy. The higher you climb in the air, the thinner the oxygen levels become. It is the same concept when you're trying to achieve a goal. And don't let anyone lie to you. And if someone is saying opposite of that, look at their life and resume to see what they have accomplished. And they will tell you the higher you go, the harder it is to accomplish things. That's why you have to choose your heart. You have to choose your heart. If you get $1 million right now, you have to pay $400,000 to the federal government in taxes. You have to pay more in taxes than what people make for their salary per year. You have to choose your heart. And once you choose your hard, you'll look at the bad days differently, Amir. To all of you, you will look at the bad days differently. Now, when I look at the bad days and things that are happening and it's getting crazy, it's a weird season, I know for me, something great is about to happen. Because ironically, after that March 2022 period when things were going crazy, believe it or not, that's when Ellen gave me the truck. That's when she gave me the very first Ford Lightning F-150 that wasn't even out to the general public yet. The velocity of that storm was an indicator of the blessing that was on the way. But the last thing I want you to do is reframe your bad days. I had a bad day not too long ago with teachers in the room. I was teaching 6th grade. I think I talked about it in the previous episode. And the kids were just not giving me the energy that I needed. So it was just a bad lesson. What I have learned to do is I appreciate the good days. And on the bad days, I sit down, grab a piece of paper and think, what are some things that I just could have done better? Hindsight is 2020, and if you view it from a positive way without beating yourself up, you will therefore begin to reframe the bad days of, I'll know next time to try this differently. And it is in that space where you become a better teacher. It is in that space where you become a better human when you are able to go through the process. It's called metacognition, thinking about your own thoughts, reframing it, and doing something different. All right. To everyone here, I'm glad you tuned in to this particular episode because it's something new. Something great. It's something positive. We had a first-year teacher kick in and talk to us, and I love that. And what I want to say is that to everyone out there, I'm glad that you're sending me. Y'all, I love when y'all tag me on Instagram and Twitter, and you take a photo of you listening to it in your car, or you take a photo of the podcast on your phone. That makes me happy because it lets me know that at least some of my words are helping someone out there. And I want to let you know today that I'm here for you to the best of my ability. I'm not perfect by any means, but God have mercy, I'm trying. I love all of you. I hope you enjoyed this Friday. If you listen to this on Saturday, Sunday, whenever, if you hear this podcast, know I love you. I'm about to teach 4th grade right now as we go through the election and wrap up the federal government and their influence in the economy, and we wrap up the voter fraud and things we're about to get into. But as no, I appreciate all of you so much. Take care of yourself. I love you. And never forget, legacy over likes. Oh, and guess what, y'all? One more thing. Let's listen to this last part because he said something that is so funny. He said,
and I also want to end this with a silly question. A question that, I've just noticed. Probably, doesn't even matter. But why do you say on today? Why don't you just say today? Why do you always say on today? Where did you pick that up from? Why is it a thing that you do? I'm just very curious. Like, every time you say on today, my head kind of like perks up. I'm like, why does this man say on today instead of just saying today?
I think it's a habit why I say on today. I'm sure y'all have caught a lot of things I say in a repetitive manner on this podcast. And honestly, that's why I started this as well, to work on my weakness. So on today, I want to promise myself not to keep saying it on today. Man, I love y'all. Take care of yourself. And remember to be gentle with yourself. Peace.